Just thinking, what if Aaliyah never signed to Blackground Records?
If it wasn't for Tony,
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming back with a new topic, a new Aaliyah video, and this video is going to be about, it's a hypothetical video. What if Aaliyah never signed to Blackground Records, which was her uncle's label? And you know, I've been doing this for over 2 years now. Almost 2 years now. And looking back to all my Aaliyah videos I did, I'm gonna leave the playlist right here. All the Aaliyah videos I did, it's over 70 of them. A major thing that comes up is like, okay, you know, it's like the history and different things like that. But a major thing that comes up is in how many aspects Blackground Records, which was her label, failed her. And in bigger essence, her uncle failed her. But I'm gonna make a whole nother video about him. You know, that's coming soon. But a major thing is how Blackground Records, in many aspects of her career, really held her back from more success, right? So I come up with the idea, what if Aaliyah never signed to his label? And this is a hypothetical video. I know people feel like, what's the point? What's the reason? Nah, I know this is a discussion-based video. Nothing's ever gonna change history. 2001, none of that. But this is just for discussion because it's like, it makes you wonder if Aaliyah was on another label, she was on a bigger label, she was on a better label, and she didn't have affiliation with Blackground Records. You know, it wasn't just a distribution deal. She was straight on Jive, straight on Atlantic, straight on Virgin Records. Would her career have been more successful? Would she still be alive today? You know? Because I feel like if she wasn't on Blackground Records, she would have had more number ones, more success. She would have performed at more war shows. She would have had more endorsement deals. And a lot of this has to do with like what Aaliyah was comfortable with at the time. But I feel like her label held her back. Like, people don't realize the bulk of Aaliyah's success was organic. It was natural. It wasn't no, you know, paying DJs off, paying this one off to, you know, paying executives off to win Grammys and all that, right? She didn't lie about songwriting credit. She didn't do none of that. Her albums, she just went in, you know, she talked with the writers, Static Major, Missy Timbaland, you know, the whole Blackground team. The one thing I do give Blackground credit for is finding great talent. You know, it's one thing to have great talent. Now, honing that talent, promoting that talent, really giving that talent a chance to really shine and not holding them back, that's where Blackground failed. I mean, look where it is now. Look all the bad business deals that he done did. But anyway, like I said, I'm gonna leave that for a whole nother video. Going on to Aaliyah's first album, right? She had a distribution deal with Jive Records. Jive Records, right? That's the label R. Kelly was on. Aaliyah's uncle set that whole thing up. So what if Jive Records just took Aaliyah in as their own artist, right? They set her up with producers. They gave her the producers to work with. They gave her the songwriters to work with. You know, Babyface, that one. You know, all the different producers that was out at the time. It wouldn't have to be no, okay, I'm gonna stick you with R. Kelly. Y'all gonna stay together for all this time. He gonna write and produce the whole album. Oh, and then the whole thing is gonna be about age ain't nothing but a number. Because a lot of the things that added to the controversy and the mystery of Aaliyah's first album was her age. How old is she? Is she old enough? Oh, it was a secret. You know, Aaliyah it's a secret. It's a secret. You know, that was a big marketing tool for that album. But then you think about it, her uncle was trying to shop her around to different labels since she was 12 years old. Now, record labels liked Aaliyah's voice, but they felt that she was too young. She was 12. She had more development to do, and you know, she's 12 years old. My thing is, what if she didn't have that affiliation with Blackground and they just had their own camp? They could have put her with their own producers and it wouldn't have to be no R. Kelly affiliation or none of that. Because you think about it, not too long after Aaliyah, here come Brandy. They was around the same age. Not too long after both of them, here come Monica. And Monica was younger than both of them. Monica was 12, 13 years old, recording songs like Just One of Them Days, Don't Take It Personal, Just Why I Love You So Much. Her whole Miss Thing album, that debut album Monica recorded, she recorded most of the songs when she was 12 or 13. So, like I said, she had that voice she had that song, she had those producers where it didn't matter if she was 12, 13, 14, whatever. The songs were going to sell and they were going to do good, and then it have to be no whole AJ number, the number type of thing. Because it's like, I feel like basically that was R. Kelly's idea, and we all know, I already made a video about that, but we all know how that turned out. And my thing is, it's like her uncle just didn't get it. Like, I bet you at the time it was a big thing. Like, but look how it turned out. Even 25 years, 26 years later, people are still trying to stick them together. Like, you can't have a Aaliyah comment section without somebody sticking R. Kelly in, or somebody making an R. Kelly joke, and it's like, oh, I wonder, oh, R. Kelly, oh, R. Kelly put her on, oh, she still married R. Kelly, oh, this R. Kelly this, R. Kelly that. It's just like, oh, R. Kelly knew what he was doing. Oh, R. Kelly liked him young. Oh, I feel like if Aaliyah was not on Blackground Records, she wouldn't have had to deal with all of that AJ number stuff, because I feel like if she would just jive by herself, her first album, her debut album, would have went in a whole nother direction. Probably the same type of vocals, almost the same type of, smooth, jazzy R&B, love songs, party songs, but it wouldn't have had to do with none of that. And that would have all been avoided. But, and another thing that really got me thinking, Jive Records, right? 4 or 5 years later, they signed Britney Spears. And look how big Britney Spears blew up. And she was just on Jive Records. It wasn't no distribution deal. She was on a straight Jive Records. The same label Aaliyah was on with her first album. And look how big Britney Spears blew up. So Jive Records, they knew how to promote artists. But because Aaliyah was with Blackground, because it was through Blackground, here's the thing. I'm just speaking from like research and stuff. I'm not no A&R. I'm just thinking, it's like, obviously Jive Records knew how to promote their artists in a way, because look how big Britney Spears blew up. And of course, a lot of that has to do with her being a white pop singer, but still, Aaliyah's first album, her debut album, had the potential to really be. Now, mind you, she was already, after her singles and stuff came out, she was already charting with Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Toni Braxton, Celine Dion. Like, she was already charting with them in 1994, going into 1995. But it's like, I feel like sometimes you look at stuff and it's like, I look back on stuff, and of course a lot of people knew Aaliyah. She traveled, she did international stuff, but it's like that first album, it didn't really blow up, And a lot of y'all know what I'm trying to say. Y'all know how when Mariah Carey first came out, you look back on it, it's like she blew up. Like I said, 5 years later when Britney Spears came out, she blew up. Whitney Houston, when she first came out, she blew up. And then, her second album even bigger. But it's like, that's why I feel like Aaliyah had such a slow burning career, where it's like she had success on each album. Each album got better and better, but because of that whole age thing and all the controversy and that followed her, even after a while she forgot about it. Who knows if he forgot about it, but she put that behind her, and people still ask her in interviews. Even now today, people still talk about it, and it's like, it's such a discussion. It's like, oh my God, R. Kelly and Aaliyah? Okay, let me talk. I know the whole Survivor and R. Kelly thing came out, and that brought it back up. And the whole thing boils down to her being signed to Blackground Records. And another thing I notice is, if you notice, AJ Number, it was Jive Records. 1 in a Million, it was Atlantic Records. Her self-titled album, it was Virgin Records. Every album, it was a new distributor. So I'm like, Blackground Records was more of like wasn't a major label. He had some connections, he knew, obviously. But it's like every album she had, it was another distributor. Like, a lot of people, a lot of fans, you wonder, like, why did Aaliyah have more number ones, or why didn't she perform at more award shows, or why was she nominated for this, or why is that, why didn't she get more endorsement deals? And a lot of things had to do with what Aaliyah was comfortable doing at the time. Like, certain labels, certain things, I could have seen Aaliyah guest starring in some sitcom shows, or you like Moesha, or this or that, or doing a lot of different things. But it's like, I felt like her being signed to Blackground Records really held her back in a way. And it started this whole R. Kelly affiliation thing. I feel like that's gonna, you know, sometimes you just gotta accept it. I mean, as a fan, you just gotta accept certain things about some of your favorite artists. That R. Kelly thing is always gonna follow her, no matter how much we can make videos about it, we can talk about it, whatever. That whole R. Kelly phase, the whole R. Kelly era is always gonna follow her. That was her debut album, her first album. The first time people ever knew about Aaliyah, it was affiliated with R. Kelly. And all of that is because of what? Blackground Records. Owned by who? Her uncle. So I'm like, it makes me wonder, what if Aaliyah was on a different label? Not LaFace, because we didn't want another TLC situation. Arista, Clive Davis. But Clive Davis has a history of trying to make artists into something they're not. At the end of the day, Clive Davis and all of them, Clive Davis and LaFace and Columbia and Sony, a lot of different record labels, they knew how to promote. They had that business mind, that business etiquette. They had that frame of mind where they knew how to get their artists to the top. In most cases, they knew the right paths to take their artists down. I feel like, and only certain people that really follow and study Aaliyah's career would know so many things Aaliyah could have did, so many performances, so many more number one, so much more success I feel like Aaliyah would have had as an artist and as a household name she would have had if she was on a different label. Blackground Records really held her back in many ways. Now, of course, it was the uncle that was shopping her around and, trying to get her deals. And he finally came up with the distribution deal with Jive Records and developing her and pairing her with R. Kelly. But at the end of the day, I feel like if Aaliyah was on another label, I feel like her career would have soared. Instead of being such a slow burner thing, I feel like her career would have soared. And this is just hypothetical. What do y'all think about this? Because I'm just thinking, you put two and two together, you take that puzzle piece from over here, you take this puzzle piece from over there, and you connect it, and you be like, I wonder if that would have worked out. Aaliyah wasn't on that. She didn't have to deal with this. She didn't have no connection to him. She would just sign to Jive Records or Atlantic Records or Virgin Records or whatever. Without the whole affiliation of Blackground, how would her career have panned out? That's another thing. What if she wasn't with the Blackground, she wouldn't have met Missy or Timbaland. But you never know. They still could have crossed paths. And ultimately, I feel like if Aaliyah wasn't on Blackground Records, she would still be alive today. Because I made a whole video about that too. We all know what happened with that and their bad business decisions, their bad business deals. And it comes down to basically, her uncle was a bad businessman. Look where he got the label out now. Defunct. And Aaliyah's last albums are just dust in the wind. You know what I'm saying? And so are JoJo's, Tank's, some of Timbaland albums, and Magoo, all of them. Tony Braxton. Her uncle was a bad businessman. Compared to the likes of, Clive Davis and Matthew Knowles and even Brandy's mother. Things done and the deals they signed really put their artists in great positions. Not to say that Aaliyah wasn't, but I feel like this, it's so much more Aaliyah could have did to where it wouldn't have, I wouldn't even be having to make this video right now. You know what I'm saying? All we could do now is talk about the what ifs, because she was on Blackground Records, which I feel like is a major reason why she's not here today. Going off of all of that and just thinking about everything, I want to know, how do you guys think Aaliyah's career would have panned out if she wasn't on Blackground Records? What if she signed to another label on her own? You know, what if she wasn't affiliated with R. Kelly for her first album? How much success do you think Aaliyah would have had? I think she would have been really successful, probably even more than she was with Blackground. You know? And if she wasn't with Blackground Records, which labels do you think would have really set Aaliyah up for success? Or, you know, which managers, what label heads, who in the music industry at that time, in the 90s and early 2000s, you think would have really helped Aaliyah build her career up, build her success up, and really made her one of the top artists? One of the top artists. Not one of those artists that's coasting in the middle, where now people be like, oh, she did good, but she didn't do the best. You know, she would have been at the top. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think Ali would have had more number ones, more Grammys, more success in general? She would have had, you know, earlier TV and movie appearances, or more endorsement deals? How much different do you think her career would have panned out if she was never on her uncle's label? This should be a really interesting discussion. I can't wait to read your comments and interact with y'all, because I'm pretty sure this is a thing we all talk about. Like, what if she wasn't with this label? You know, would her music have been the same? Would her music have been better? Would it have not been better? You never know. Like, talk about it. What producers do you think Ali would have worked with if she didn't work with R. Kelly for her first album? Let's really get this discussion going down below, because I'm pretty sure y'all have a lot to say about this. So please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.